I'm back. It is the second day of this amazing book, The Fifth Agreement, and I'm going to be reading chapter 2. Again, this ain't audible. I'm going to stop and add my 2 cents when I so feel to do so. But I'm grateful that you're here, and I hope that if you like this video, you click the like button, and that you would share, and that you would subscribe to my channel where I read books, adding my commentary, and just having a great time. So we are in the 5th agreement. We did the 4 agreements. To recap, first one, be impeccable with your word. Second one, don't take anything personal. Third one, don't make any assumptions. And the 4th one, always do your best. So now that we have those 4 agreements, the 5th agreement is where we're at. And we're at chapter 2, Symbols and Agreements, the Art of Humans. During all these years that we grow up, we make countless agreements with ourselves, with society, with everybody around us. But the most important agreements are the ones we make with ourselves by understanding the symbols we learned. The symbols are telling us what we believe about ourselves. They're telling us what we are and what we are not, what is possible and what is not possible. The voice of knowledge is telling us everything that we know, but who tells us if what we know is the truth? When we go to grammar school, high school, and college, we acquire a lot of knowledge. But what do we really know? Do we master the truth? No, we master a language, a symbology. And that symbology is only the truth because we agree, not because it's really the truth. And that is so true. We agree on these things. We agree that the thing I'm looking at is a tree, so that makes it the truth. But if we all collectively came together and said, no, that's not a tree anymore, it's a duck, then we change a tree to a duck, and we'd all agree that that's a duck. And if I called it a tree, you tell me, no, that's a duck. If we were born in England, we learn English symbols. Let me back up because I skipped something. Wherever we were born, whatever language we learn to speak, we find that almost everything we know is really about agreements, beginning with the symbols we learn. If we are born in England, we learn English symbols. If we're born in China, we learn Chinese symbols. But whether we learn English, Chinese, Spanish, German, Russian, or any other language, the symbols only have value because we assign them a value and agree on their meaning. If we don't agree, the symbols are meaningless. The word tree, oh my God, y'all, I did not know he was going to use tree. I have not read this book. I'm just looking at the trees in my backyard. The word tree, for example, is meaning for people who speak English, but tree doesn't mean anything unless we believe that it means something, unless we agree. What it means for you, it means for me, and that's why we understand one another. What I'm saying right now, you understand because we agree with the meaning of every word that was programmed in our mind. But this doesn't mean that we completely agree. Each of us gives a meaning to every word, and it's not exactly the same for everyone. If we focus our attention on the way any word is created, we find that whatever meaning we give to a word is there for no real reason. We put words together from nowhere. We make them up. Humans invent every sound, every letter, every graphic symbol. We hear a sound like A, and then we say, this is the symbol for that sound. We draw a symbol to represent the sound. We put the symbol and the sound together, and we give it a meaning. Then every word in our mind has a meaning, but not because it's real, not because it's truth. It's just an agreement with ourselves and with everybody else who learns the same symbology. If we travel to a country where people speak a different language, we suddenly realize the importance of the power of agreements. Un árbol es solo un árbol, es solo el sol, la tierra, es solo la tierra si estamos de acuerdo. And then he has a whole bunch of other languages that I don't know. I think this one has Arabic. Eva Estapo, Eva La. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to try all of that. And then there's Chinese. And that what it is saying is a tree is only a tree, the sun is only the sun, the earth is only the earth if we agree. These symbols have no meaning in France, Russia, Turkey, Sweden, or any other place where the agreements are different. If we learn to speak English and we go to China and hear people talking, but we don't understand a word they're saying. Nothing makes sense to us because it's not the symbology that we learned. Many things are foreign to us. It's like being in another world. If we visit their places of worship, we find that their beliefs are completely different, their rituals are completely different, their mythologies have nothing to do with what we learned. When I was living in New York City, I was interested in Islam, and I went to Jummah Friday. It's this Friday prayer, which is today. Happy Jummah for all of the Muslim family that watches me. And I went into a traditional mosque. I thought I was going into the place where I'd heard Minister Farrakhan speak in D.C. So I thought, I want to go to the mosque. So when I asked somebody, they sent me to the masjid. I go to the masjid, I go in there, and I'm all excited. I think I'm covered. I mean, I'm covered enough, but those women are like, give her that. And they gave me a shawl to put on and something to put on my hair. Then they started speaking Arabic, and they're all, knowing when to go, Allahu Akbar, and they're all knowing all that. And I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea. But I was just trying to watch and keep up. So finally, this young lady was like, just, sit right here and just watch us. So I said, okay. So I just sat there to watch them. And so I'm just watching them do it, and I'm excited, but I don't understand anything but the energy. I knew I was in a spiritual place, even though I didn't understand the words they were saying. Okay, but if we learn a new way of being, a new religion or philosophy, this may create conflict with what we learned before. New beliefs clash with old beliefs, and the doubt comes right away. What is right and what is wrong? Is it true what I learned before? Is it true what I'm learning right now? What is the truth? The truth is that all of our knowledge, 100% of it, is nothing more than symbolism or words that we invent for the need to understand and express what we perceive. Every word in our mind and on this page is just a symbol, but every word has the power of our faith because we believe in its meaning without a doubt. Humans construct an entire belief system made up of symbols. We build an entire edifice of knowledge. Then we use everything we know, which is nothing but symbology, to justify what we believe, to try to explain first to ourselves, then to everybody else around us, the way we perceive ourselves or the way we perceive the entire universe. If we are aware of this, then it's easy to understand that all of the different mythologies, religions, and philosophies around the world, all of the different beliefs and ways of thinking are nothing but agreements with ourselves and with other humans. They're only creation, but are they true? They're our creation, but are they true? Everything that exists is true. The earth is true. The stars are true. The entire universe has always been true. But the symbols that we use to construct what we know are only true because we say so. So we've decided that a star is a star. That is up there in the sky at night. That little light thingy that looks really blingy blingy. But we call it a star, so we're all saying it's a star. It's true that it's there. But if somebody else in another place, look at my skin, Lord Jesus, I shine bright like a diamond. It's like burnished brass in an oven. Anyhow, there's a beautiful story in the Bible that illustrates the relationship between God and humans. In this story, Adam and God are walking together around the world, and God asks Adam what he wants to name everything. One by one, Adam gives a name to everything he perceives. Let's call this a tree. Let's call this a bird. Let's call this a flower. And God agrees with Adam. I'm saying that because one person went around the entire planet and named everything. How'd they get around? Oh, wait. Did they fly? Did they walk all over the whole entire world naming stuff? Or did they name stuff in that place that they were at and somebody else named stuff in the place where they were at? Story is about creation of symbols, the creation of an entire language, and it works by agreement. It is like two sides of the same coin. We can say that one side is pure perception, what Adam perceives. The other side is the meaning that Adam gives to whatever he perceives. There's the object of perception, which is the truth, and there's our interpretation of the truth, which is just a point of view. The name Adam in and of itself is a symbol we've decided to accept because that could not have been his first name. The first person was not named Adam. We just decided we didn't know the real name, so we said, let's just call him Adam. Well, we didn't say that. The Caucasian that changed everything around said, Adam's a white name, so let's call him Adam, so everybody can think white began first in a place where everybody is black as night. We gonna say everything started in Africa, but we was there first. And we gonna call him Adam and Eve because those are white names, and then people will connect their brains to white first. Whew. Where was I? There is an object of perception, which is the truth, and then there's our interpretation of the truth, which is just a point of view. Like what I just said, that's my point of view. I don't think people in Africa was named Adam, but I could be wrong, but I'm not. Our interpretation of the truth is subjective, and we call it art. Science and art, the truth and our interpretation of the truth. The truth is that a being was there, and the being had other beings around, and they started needing to identify things so they could say, meet me over at that third tree, but they couldn't say meet me over, there. They had to name it something, and they named it tree. But in Africa, it wasn't called tree. We call it tree now, but that's not the word. Like, it means tree. Our interpretation of the truth is our creation, and it is relative truth because it's truth by agreement. So if you agree with me, there'll be people saying, I believe it, and it's the truth. I know it's the truth. No, you believe it's the truth because it's your truth. Somebody else says that's not their truth, and that's what? It ain't their truth. It's your truth. With this awareness, we can begin to understand the human mind. All humans are programmed to perceive the truth, and we don't need a language to do this. But in order to express the truth, we need to use a language, and that expression is our art. It is no longer the truth because words are symbols, and symbols can only represent or symbolize the truth. For example, we can see a tree even if we don't know the symbol tree. Without the symbol, we just see an object. The object is real, it is truth, and we perceive it. Once we call it a tree, we are using art to express a point of view. By using more symbols, we can describe the tree, every leaf, every color. We can say it is a big tree, a small tree, a beautiful tree, an ugly tree. But is it the truth? No. The tree is still the same tree. Our interpretation of the tree will depend on our emotional reaction to the tree, and our emotional reaction will depend on the symbol that we use to recreate the tree in our mind. As you can see, our interpretation of the tree is not exactly the truth, but our interpretation is a reflection of the truth, and that reflection is what we call the human mind. The human mind is nothing but a virtual reality. It isn't real. What's real is truth. What's truth is truth for everyone. Okay, what's truth is truth for everyone. But the virtual reality is our personal creation. It is our art, and it's only truth for each one of us. All humans are artists, all of us. Every symbol, every word is a little piece of art from my point of view. And thanks to our programming, our greatest masterpiece of art is the use of language to create an entire virtual reality with our mind. The virtual reality we create could be a clear reflection of the truth, or it could be completely distorted. Either way, it's art. Our creation could be our personal heaven, or it could be our personal hell. It doesn't matter, it's art. But what we can do with the awareness of what is truth and what is virtual is endless. The truth leads to self-mastery, to a life that is very easy. Our distortion of the truth often leads to needless conflicts and human suffering. Awareness makes all the difference. Humans are born with awareness. We are born to perceive the truth, but we accumulate knowledge and we learn to deny what we perceive. We practice not being aware, and we master not being aware. The word is pure magic, and we learn to use our magic against ourselves, against creation, against our own kind. To be aware means to open our eyes to see the truth. When we see the truth, we see everything just as it is, not the way we believe it is, not the way we wish it to be. Awareness opens the door to millions of possibilities. And if we know that we are the artists of our own life, we can make a choice from all those possibilities. That's why you never have to lie to a person. You can find somebody willing to live your lie as their truth, or your truth is their truth by not lying. If you're in a relationship and you don't want to be monogamous, all you need to do is let that person know, I don't want to be monogamous. They will either say, well, we can't be together, or okay, then I'm not monogamous too. Or they'll try to tell you, no, you got to be monogamous. That's the person you need to say, look, I done told you I ain't going to be monogamous, so we ending this. But you don't have to lie. You get to live your truth. There's somebody out there willing to live your truth with you. The only time I believe that you should not be able to live your so-called truth if it involves minors, people under the age of 18, or animals. Leave the children and the animals alone. They cannot consent. So that truth can never be a truth. That is a fucking lie, and you need to not do that, because children and animals cannot tell you no, and you just stop. So leave them alone. Get with an adult and say you just want to be nasty and crazy. And my idea of nasty and crazy may not be yours, but be truthful about it. Live your truthful self. Ain't nobody got time for your lying ass self. Be truthful. What I am sharing with you comes from my personal training, which I call Toltec wisdom. Toltec is a Nathal word meaning artist. From my point of view, to be a Toltec has nothing to do with any philosophy or place in the world. To be a Toltec is just to be an artist. A Toltec is an artist of the spirit, and as artists, we like beauty. We don't like what is not beauty. If we become better artists, our virtual reality becomes a better reflection of the truth, and we can create a masterpiece of heaven with our art. Thousands of years ago, the Toltec created 3 masteries of the artist: the mastery of awareness, the mastery of transformation, and the mastery of love, intent, or faith. The separation is just for our understanding, because these 3 masteries become only one. The truth is only one, and the truth is what we are talking about. These 3 masteries guide us out of suffering and return us to our true nature, which is happiness, freedom, and love. That's our true nature. Happiness, freedom, and love. The Toltec understood that we are going to create a virtual reality with or without awareness. If it's with awareness, we're going to enjoy our creation, and whether we facilitate the transformation or resist it, our virtual reality is always transforming. If we practice the art of transformation, soon we're facilitating the transformation, and instead of us using our magic against ourselves, we are using our magic for the expression of our happiness and our love. When we master love, intent, or faith, we master the dream of our life. And when all 3 masteries are accomplished, we reclaim our divinity and become one with God. This is the goal of the Toltec. The Toltec didn't have the technologies that we have at the present time. They didn't know about the virtual reality of computers, but they knew how to master the virtual realities of the human mind. The mastery of the human mind requires complete control of the attention. The way we interpret and react to information we perceive from the inside of us and the outside of us. The Toltec understood that each one of us is just like God, but instead of creating, we recreate. And what do we recreate? What we perceive. And that is what becomes the human mind. If we can understand what the human mind is and what the human mind does, we can begin to separate reality from virtual reality, or pure perception, which is truth, from symbology, which is art. Self-mastery is all about awareness, and it begins with self-awareness. To be aware of what is real, and then to be aware of what is virtual, which means what we believe about what is real. With this awareness, we know that we can change what is virtual by changing what we believe. What is real, we cannot change, and it doesn't matter what we believe. And then that's where we end this one. Tomorrow, the 3rd chapter, the story of you, the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. He's going to go back into those again. So we know these agreements are very powerful, and I'm hoping that you're taking them into your personal life and using them. They actually work. When you make an agreement with yourself and stick to it, you begin to build your confidence in what you can achieve. So start that today. Write down 5 things that you want to agree about yourself, that you want to, level up to. And then every day, check off the things, do some things towards it and check off, yep, I did this, I did this. And if you need to write that out, writing is a way to take what's in your brain and put it and bring it into the physical world. And once you've done that, it's scripting. You're scripting your life. You're writing it out. And as you look at it, you're like, wow, I'm making this real. I'm making that real. And then keep those books. I got books like mini journals for my oldest son is 28, so I have 27 years of journals that I still have, and I go back and look and see the things that I've made real and things that I don't even want anymore, and then I cross it out because I don't even want it anymore. So if I don't want it anymore, I don't want it like sitting out there in the universe like, hey, is she picking me? So I get rid of it. But I look back and I can see where I've grown. I can see where I've not grown. I can see where I was not impeccable with my word because I'm still not doing those things. And I can see where I've been impeccable with my word. And that allows you to really live an authentic life. I'll be 56 on June 17th. And I can look at where I've been throughout my life. Well, you guys can't see it, but there's a fox in my backyard all the way back there. Wow. Anyway, it's like in the woods parts, but I just saw it. And it's not true that if you see a fox in the daytime, it means it's rabbit. That's not true. I thought it was, so I Googled it. It's not true. Anyway, thank you so very much for your time. I hope to see you tomorrow. I hope that you like this video, that you share this video, and that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'm going to be doing this for quite some time. And here we are in the 5th agreement. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.